On scientific skepticism, the logic of nature, and quantum theory. On scientific skepticism, absurd, it seems, is my default position on everything outside of the box until further examination. The logic of nature. Perfection is the important element in science. Wherever a wrong answer is stated, it bugs the crap out of scientists until they resolve it. Mathematics is logic and form which can only be understood through reason. The rules of Euclidean geometry, for instance, are absolutely true under the assumption of flat plane geometry. The rules change, however, for hyperbolic or spherical geometry. If somebody assumes a universal spacetime that is a Euclidean, then parallel lines should never intersect. But a spacetime that is spherical would have parallel lines that eventually intersect. Asking questions is one tool of the search for truth. The better one tool of that search is in finding the answers. Mathematics in science is computationally used to take a set of initial assumptions and find a logical result from those assumptions. Whenever a scientific theory fails to make accurate predictions, the fault lies entirely within the assumptions being made, which in science is based on the experimental and observational evidence that is available. Math, in all its abstractions, is never wrong, but it is either the assumptions that are, or the person doing the math that messed up that is wrong. It is in scientific peer review that these deductive and inductive errors and biases are to be removed though. The physical laws of the universe appear, a priori, to be governed by mathematical relations. The mind evolutionarily arose from the physical universe, and hence it should demonstrably be a manifestation of mathematical relationships as well. This is why the more logical the thought process, the more successful it will be at discovering the truth about the way it, and the reality of everything that comprises it, works. This is why emotion, the result of evolutionary programming, needs to be subordinate to logic, as per the moral of the metaphorical garden. If logic were a god, it would allow the laws of causality to both reward people for acting intelligently and to punish them for acting foolishly, which is the case. But, even the perception of reward and punishment are myths. The universe really is just a probabilistic Turing machine that obeys the order of logical causality. Quantum theory. Noise is a general engineering term for the background interference of any signal being processed. Ergo, any forcing function that is external to an intended signal is called noise. Pair production is based on the highly theoretical mathematical physics of general relativity and black hole thermodynamics, the assumption that gravitational energy is converted to particles and antiparticles or is created from the vacuum energy of the expanding universe. A wave has a certain momentum but has an uncertain position in space, whereas a particle has a certain position in space but an uncertain momentum. Hence, a wave particle acts as a particle with uncertain trajectories, x, y, when the position, z, is measured in the wave with diffraction, x, y, effects when the momentum, z, is measured. This is also what electrons do in their atomic orbitals. Hence they are viewed as orbital waves of known energy momentum until the position or energy level is measured. The quantum states for all of the electron orbitals for each individual atom or molecule are mapped out using a Stern-Gerlach separation apparatus. Maxwell's equations having to do with time rates of change of the magnetic fields don't really apply to light-speed objects, and thereby you can have E-field polarizations in the shape of the chromosphere or electron orbital from which it came from. It is perhaps only when it interacts with a new charge, index of refraction, that the magnetic field begins oscillating. Are the dielectric permittivity and magnetic permeability of free space are constant, or perhaps they decrease based on entropy? Negative mu materials. A negative mu material should technically create an imaginary velocity, that would be, for instance, energy and momentum being destroyed, existing merely in phase space as it were. Perhaps that is what zero-point energy is. Or another interpretation of that might just be the absorption of a photon, perhaps a vacuum can absorb and emit photons. Okay, if that's the case, then perhaps that is where mass comes from, in the form of positron-electron creation, or in the form of any other subatomic particles.